Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing with you a couple of Christmas DIYs. I am so excited for this Christmas season. I have a few things that I want to get done. Most of these are Dollar Tree DIYs, but there's a couple that are just things that can be found around your house or picked up at the craft store really easily. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first craft that I'm going to share with you today are DIY snow globes. Now these are just not like functioning snow globes, just to be clear, but I picked up these candle holders from the Dollar Tree. They hold like a taper candle and then also this little candle tray and these, I guess they're votive holders, these round ones, but they're all found in the candle section at the Dollar Tree. Also, this foam board is from the Dollar Tree, so I'm just tracing the bottom of the little candle holder to create like a base to the snow globe part. And you'll see in a minute that I don't end up keeping it this octagon shape just because once I put the round votive holder on top of it, I don't like the way it looks. So I am going to go back in here and change it to a circle instead. You could do it either way, but basically I'm just trying to create a base to keep our snow from falling through to the inside of this candle base. Once I get the shape right, I'm just going to secure it to the bottom candle holder with some hot glue, and then I'm going to take some of this, it's like 9001 glue, I don't really know how you say it, it's just the same as E6000, only this is what my craft store had, and I'm just putting a few dashes of that and then also some hot glue, and I'm going to glue this candle holder to this candle base, and that will be the bottom of this one. So as you can see, I'm doing two different heights of snow globes, so I'm taking two of these other candle holders and I will do the same thing, some of this 9001 glue and some hot glue as well to secure those two candle bases together. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this snow globe as I did with the other. Cut out the round foam board and then glue that to the candle holder. Next, I'm going to take these two Christmas ornaments. I also got these from the Dollar Tree. I feel like I'm going to say that 500 times during this video, but most of this stuff is from the Dollar Tree. So I am taking apart these trees, just taking the bell off of it because I just want the tree for the snow globe. And then I have these little plastic snowflakes. They come in a pack of 10, also from the Dollar Tree. I'm cutting off the strings because they're technically ornaments, and then I'm also going to clip a little bit off the bottom and the top of these snowflakes because they don't quite fit into the round candle holder perfectly. Also, I ended up putting some Mod Podge on these. I lost the clip somehow, and then sprinkled some silver glitter onto them just to give them a little bit more of a glittery and stand out appearance because they were kind of disappearing in this little glass votive holder. When I put the snowflake in this, I realized it was just a little bit too tall still, so I just snipped off a little bit more, and then I'm going to secure it to the edge of this votive holder using a little bit of hot glue, and this will just keep it in place as it sits all together. Next, I'm going to take one of my candle bases and I'm just going to mark a spot where I want this tree to go down in. And it still has like that little metal stem, so I'm just going to secure that stem into that white foam board using a little bit of hot glue. And then I have some Epsom salt, also from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that into the round votive holder, and that will give the snow effect. So as you can see, I'm going to have to secure this upside down, but I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue around the round foam board and then secure the round votive holder to that. And as you can see, that made our snow globe. So I'm going to do the same exact thing with the second one. For my second project, I'm going to be working with these little village houses from the Dollar Tree. I picked up a set of 6 of these. I got this church, the bakery, the general store, the antique shop, and then 2 houses. And I really like the shape of these and the way they look, but I was not a fan of the colors and the paint job on some of them. So we're going to take and paint these all white so that they all coordinate, and then they also match with my decor. And just a note about these, they do have a like round spot underneath where a battery votive holder can go, and so you can light these up. So they're actually a really good deal for $1, but I just wasn't a huge fan of the look. So I'm just going to take some of this Apple Barn paint. I just got it from Walmart, and I'm just going to brush the paint all over and wait for it to dry, and then I will give it a second coat. And that covered them really well. Now that all the houses have had 2 coats of paint and they've had a chance to dry, I'm just going to take some Mod Podge and I'm going to paint this on to some high parts on the roof and the window ledges and some of the like sidewalk areas, and I'm going to sprinkle some of that Epsom salt all over, and this should just give it a little bit of a snowy feel. And I think that this will sparkle really nicely when they're lit up and around Christmas lights. So I'm really excited to see how these look once they're put in my Christmas decor. For my next project, this is probably the easiest of all the projects, but these are the ice cream cones from Dollar Tree. They just like expand. They're these paper, I don't even know what you call these honestly, but I got these back in September for my daughter's birthday, and she's doing a Candyland theme Christmas decor in her bedroom this year, and these match the colors. So I did want to give it a little bit more of a holiday feel. So I'm adding some glitter. So I have some silver glitter that I just got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm painting on Mod Podge and then sprinkling on glitter. And I'll actually show you 2 different ways to do this. This first way is a little bit of a heavier handed glitter look. meaning there will just be more glitter overall, because when you brush it when it's open like this, the Mod Podge has a chance to get inside some of these little open crevices, so it will end up looking overall more glittery. The second way that I'll show you will look less glittery, like it'll just be more subtle, but it's even easier to do. I also wanted to mention that if you are wanting to do something like this, I know I bought these in September, but they are a year-round thing. They're just over in the birthday section, so this is something that you could do any time, and you should be able to pick up now, and I think that they have all kinds of different colors. So for the second way to do this, you're actually going to leave these closed, and then you're just going to brush the Mod Podge across the whole edge and then sprinkle the glitter on it. And this just allows the glitter only to get onto the edge. You can also open it up just a tiny bit as well, just to get even more glitter. But this is just a really, really easy way to do it, and it just gives this really nice subtle glitter to it. Okay guys, for this next project we are using these little wood slats. They're from Hobby Lobby. They're priced at $2.99, but you can use your 40% off coupon on that, so that makes them quite a bit cheaper. And I am just taking 4 of these. It does come in a pack of 6, and I'm going to stain them. You can stain them whatever color you want. It is unfinished wood, but I'm going with this kind of cherry color, and then I'm just wiping off the excess. And these are actually going to be stocking name tags. So I ended up getting new Christmas stockings this year, and our previous ones were embroidered, and I didn't want to embroider these. So these are going to be the names that will hang over them. So I'm super excited to make these just because I think they're going to look super rustic and pretty. Once these have had a chance to dry, I am just going to drill a hole, and I'm doing it in one corner because I want these to hang kind of like the stocking will at a tilt. So I'm actually doing the top left corner of all of these, and I'm just drilling a hole big enough that I can fit twine through it. Next, it's time for me to add the names. So I did make these decals using my Silhouette machine, but you don't have to have one of those to do this. You could handwrite the names with like a paint pen, or you could paint it on with a paintbrush. You could just do it with marker. You could order some of these off of Etsy because they sell those kinds of things, but since I have a vinyl cutter, I just did vinyl because I like the way it looks. And so I'm just going to add all the names to these little wood slats, and then once that's done, I am going to cut 4 pieces of twine that are probably about 8 inches long each, and then I will thread them through the hole that I drilled and tie them off. For my last project, I am going to just add a little bit of a whimsical to this wreath that I already had. I got this a couple of years ago on clearance at the end of a Christmas holiday, and I am just taking some colored paper in the colors that we're using in my daughter's room when we decorate, and I'm going to write out fa la la. So I just decided to make my letters about 1.5 inches tall. That's what the ruler is for. So I'm just holding that down while I write my letters out to make sure that they're all the same height. And I'm not being particularly careful about how perfect the letters are just because it's meant to be whimsical and it's not meant to be perfect. If it was, I could have used my craft cutter, but I don't need it to be perfect. So I'm just writing out the letters for fa la la. And then I also have this red and white twine that I got from Target. It was included in some gift tags last year in the dollar spot. I don't know if they have anything like that this year. I literally haven't been to Target in forever, but if not, I'm sure you can find some twine basically at any craft store. But that is what I'm using for this. So now I'm just going to cut out my letters, and for the insides of the A's, I'm just using this Dollar Tree foam board as my underneath so I don't cut my table, and then I'm just using an X-Acto knife to cut out the inside of the A. I find that's like the best way to cut out your letters, like the insides, because they're kind of hard to get to, especially when they're small. Once I've cut out all my letters, I'm actually going to thread them through with this red and white twine. So I'm going to, on the tops of the letters, I'm just going to make an X with my X-Acto knife, and then I'm actually going to thread the red and white twine through a needle, and then I will literally thread the letters onto the string. Since these are paper letters, I just didn't want to tear them, so I figured this would be the easiest way to do this. If you're worried about securing the hole in the letters, you can always add a little bit of tape, or you could even laminate the letters, and that would make them stronger so you wouldn't have to worry about them tearing. Once my letters are all threaded through, I'm just going to tie this onto my wreath. And this is just like a little extra added pop of color to this wreath, so it'll go with my daughter's color scheme in her room, and it ends up turning out really cute. I'll be sharing a video probably on Saturday of us decorating her room, so you can see it then. Be sure to subscribe so that you get notified when that goes up. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave this video a thumbs up if you liked it so I know to make more content like this. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.